The objective for this lesson is I can find whole number quotients and remainders. So remember, a quotient is the answer to a division problem. So we're going to be using the standard algorithm or long division to solve division problems. Let's see, again, these problems are a little difficult to see. They don't write them too clearly, so I'm going to rewrite this. This one says, because this looks like a plus sign to me. So this problem is 22 divided by 5. All right. So remember, when we do division, we have our little division house here, and our dividend, or the biggest number, the number we're dividing, goes in the house. And our divisor is what we're dividing by. See how many, in this case, how many 5s go into 22. So again, there's a few different ways to do this. I think one of the easier ways when we're dealing with small numbers right now, because I'm going to show you a different way later on when we get into bigger numbers, but in this case, because we're only dealing with 5 and 22, you can simply count by 5s and see how long it takes you to get to 22. So 5, 10, 15, 20, that's as far as I can go, right? So how many 5s is that? That's right, it's 4. So that's the number we put up here over the 22. And it's really important to notice, watch how I do this with every division problem. I'm dividing it into 22. So the number 22 ends here, right? So my 4 goes over that second 2. Doesn't go over the first 2. All right, so again, if you're able to skip count like this, it also makes it easier because you don't have to do the other steps in between. You can just say, all right, what did I count to? I got to, I erased. You can say, well, I got to 20. So that's the number I put underneath 22. And then since 4 didn't go in evenly, to get my remainder, all I do is subtract, find what I have left. So I have 2 left, so I just put remainder 2, like that. Okay. I'm going to show you one more, and while I'm showing you this, I'm going to ask you questions, and then I'm going to give you one division problem to do. This is not going to be a super long video. All right, so now we have bigger numbers. So this one is 60 divided by 8. So of course my bigger number, my dividend goes there, and my divisor goes here. When we get into dividing with bigger dividends, bigger numbers in here, how you'll do the division is you're going to divide one number at a time, kind of like when we do multiplication, right? You don't multiply 34 times 4. You do 4 times 4 first, and then 4 times this 3, or 30. And that's the same with division. It's going to be one number at a time. Realistically, what you're doing is you're saying, well, how many 8s go into 6? But since none go into 6, I end up dividing into 60, all right? So we'll do more of that, don't worry. So same thing. I can skip count by 8s and see how many it takes to get to 60. So 8, 16, 24, 32. This is where it really helps to know your multiplication facts and be able to skip count. 2 things you should really practice that'll make math easier if you aren't good at them. 40, 48, 56. That's as far as I can go. All right. So knowing that, what number goes up here? Hopefully you said 7, because I have because I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 8s. All right. Next question for you is then, what number goes down here? All right. So hopefully you remember that this whatever I counted to, whatever I counted to is the number that I put underneath my original dividend. And then what do to get the remainder? That's right, you subtract the 2 numbers and you put your remainder right up here. 7 remainder 8. Okay, last thing is I'm going to give you a problem to do. And let's see how you do with it. I'll try not to give you one that's super, super high. Let's do 4 into 35. What is 35 divided by 4? Okay, so hopefully you counted by 4s. I did make you count a lot of 4s though. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. I can't do another one because that would go over 35. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Goes up here. And then, remember, this bottom number is the one I put underneath my original dividend. And then I subtract to find my remainder. And if you got 8 remainder of 3, you're a rock star. And if you didn't, don't worry about it. We'll keep practicing. And as always, rewatch this if you want to, or